So we're going to be looking at starting the tuning process on our 74 MGB GT Autocrosser here. Now that we've got the AFR gauge installed, we want to try to start the tuning. But before we do that, I want to make sure that we have good readings, because we do have a slip joint in the header and that might be throwing our readings off. So I went ahead and picked up some aluminum exhaust repair tape here that I'm going to try to wrap around that slip joint to see if we can seal that up better to get more accurate readings. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take a quick drive around the block before I do this. And then we're going to install this and take another trip around the block and see if the readings are any different. Now it's low 50s out today, so our average readings will probably show a little bit leaner than if it was, say, 80 degrees out. But let's go ahead and get the camera mounted in the car. We'll take a quick drive and see what we see. So this is just a cobbled together mount using vice grips and stuff to try to mount on the roll bar. I'm going ahead and ordering a proper roll bar mount. Hopefully this will be steady enough. Nearly as rich as what they were showing on the Dyno. But I also notice on my override it's showing really lean. And I've got something I think might help on that. It's really interesting to be able to actually see what it's doing, because you wouldn't think it'd be changing quite that much or going quite that lean if you didn't have something to measure it with. Okay, so after reviewing that footage, my mount's still a little too shaky on the overrun. It just shakes way too much to see what's going on. But we were getting into like 18 to 20 to 1 on the overrun. We'll let this cool off for a minute here. We'll get it up in the air and try to see if we can put this repair tape over that joint. Okay, so it's still cooling off. I'm not quite ready to actually start wrapping it yet, but just looking at this, it's going to be a little difficult because of the way this joint is made with these. But we can probably strip this stuff down a little narrower and get it to wrap up through here. But I also might take some of this stuff and try to like put it inside here, take up some of that gap. So once it's cool enough to play with, I'll play with that little bit, try to get her sealed up, and we can go take another quick drive. So I was able to take some of this stuff and slide it just inside there and pack it in with a screwdriver and take up that space. So now I'm going to take some of this and split it and wrap it all the way around on both of them, and that should take care of it. All right, so there we are. We got 2 layers on there of tape now. That should seal that up pretty good. Now, as long as it stays on throughout the tuning process, we should be good. Okay, so now we got that done, let's look at this again. We're sitting about the same temperature. We are noticing it's showing a little richer even at idle, which means it was affecting our numbers at least some degree. We went from around 13.5 to, what, 12.7 range. Starting in the same place here, go around the block, see what we get. fourth gear pull from lower RPMs. So I just got back from the drive, and now what we'll have to do is compare the footage of the first drive and the second drive to really see what the differences were, but obviously there was some slight differences. The second drive should be more accurate. Now, one thing to note when we're talking about all these numbers, probably air, fuel, and horsepower, is, and this is a bit on the nerdy end of things, is when you're comparing dyno numbers to actually driving on the street, the dyno is going to load the car differently than the car will load on the street, especially when you're dealing with a car like this, because this car only weighs 2,100 pounds. And for the dyno numbers to be completely accurate, it needs to load the car as the same as what the car does on the street or on the racetrack, whatever the case might be. So the dyno rollers need to be about the same weight as the car that's on the dyno. And we're not going to find that anywhere around here, because in the US, most every car you're going to see is going to be 3,000 pounds or higher. So we're going to load the car harder on the dyno than we will on the street, which will change the numbers a little bit. And I think that's part of the reason why we're showing it being so rich when we're on the dyno, but we're not seeing those same kind of numbers now. So for me, one of the next things I'm going to be playing with on this thing is the damper rods here. One of the things I have been fighting ever since I put this engine together is it revs really quickly, but then the RPMs come down kind of slowly because the pistons aren't dropping fast enough. So I've got a set of new damper rods here. Now these are a hybrid set of damper rods. Now if some of you may already be familiar with AC Dodd. He's another YouTuber who does a lot of tuning on SU carburetors. This is a set of damper rods that he actually come up with and had Berlin fuel systems start to actually make. This is part number ABF 1131. So what these are is the rods from a newer set of SUs from like a 90, 91 range Mini. They allow the piston to drop a lot faster than the earlier rods, but it has the earlier caps on them. So what he used to do is buy the late rods and take them apart and put the early caps on, and he got them to start making these under a different part number so they're ready to go. And I'm going to try these to find out if that helps bring the thing back down to idle a lot quicker. All right, so here we go. We're going to start looking at this. Now, at some point, I may have to change the oil viscosity in the carburetors before I'm done tuning. But for right now, we're going to stick with that, what I've been using. So let's see what we got right now. See how long it takes to come down to idle. Oh, we're good there. Let's see if we get any difference here. Doesn't sound that much different, but maybe a little. But by the time we zone in on the proper oil, if we have to change the oil, it might actually get a little better. But I'll get another trip around the block, see if the numbers on the overrun look any different. I'm not going to go put the camera in there, but that's one part of the tuning process. I wanted to get these before I started it.